What's up, guys? Got a Feral Druid Arena breakdown for you today. This first game is against a comp that is very scary. Demon Hunters and Death Knights put together are pretty intense. Luckily, this is Unholy, so I think it's a little bit easier to deal with because the Frost Artifact Weapon Burst is crazy with Metamorphosis. Unholy is still no joke, though. Get a good opener on this pally here, get full bleeds on him, as well as Moonfiring the entire enemy team. And what this team does here in a second is truly disgusting. So we faced these guys before. They know what the Fel Lord is. And the last game we got them, they got out of the Fel Lord. They lost all their pressure. This game, they YOLO. And they sit in the Fel Lord, continually train our pally through the Fel Lord. Their Paladin blows like every cooldown in the book to keep them up. And they survive. I cannot believe they survived. The Fel Lord hits for like 500k a swing. And they lived. I can't believe it. So these guys just train the shit out of our pally here. I'm going to pop out and start healing because I'm almost dumbfounded while we're playing this game if they survive this. This is quite the clusterfuck, and I can't believe they made it. So here we go. I pop out, start healing my pally here. Metamorphosis is almost over. We've almost lived through the worst of it. So I'm trying not to heal too much here. Go back aggressive. Shadow Meld Rake the pally. Gonna Skull Bash him out of that. That was a pretty good little combo there. Get a rip on him. Move on to the DK. Move back over to the Demon Hunter here. Demon Hunter's meta's getting ready to end right about now. Metamorphosis ends. We get him pretty low, trying to build a rip on him. Stuns. Tries to kite away, and at this point we are starting to get the game under control again. We've lived through the worst of it. Probably could have been a little bit better about rooting. I should have been rooting the DK and the Demon Hunter there. Both of those classes are really susceptible to roots, and I just wasn't really doing it. I was kind of just spamming damage. Full bash the pally, he trinkets it. My paladin bops himself, and I start putting some heals into him. This might not have been necessary. This actually might have been a little wasteful. Probably should have just started spamming more damage now that he had bop. I think he was probably fine there. But there's the second Fel Lord. They decide to try and sit in it again, but it doesn't really work out for him. We got crazy spread pressure at this point, and the Demon Hunter just kind of falls over because the pally didn't have crazy wings, cooldowns to keep him up through it the second time around. So pretty disgusting that they can train you through the Fel Lord. I can't believe they managed to do that. So you got to be aware of these YOLO teams. Now, for a game on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. This is a very, very good team. One of the better teams we fought in the skirmishes so far. It's a Feral, Demon Hunter, Mistweaver Monk. These are Gladiator players. The Mistweaver is a current Gladiator. So very good players here, and this is a pretty funny way to start the game. So we drop the Fel Lord, and they drop Metamorphosis, and look at what happens. Look at what this team has the complete opposite reaction to Fel Lord. They're like, fuck this shit. And they completely run away from it. Full reset, both teams. Now, I think we come out on top on the reset like that because I believe they blew Metamorphosis. That guy is I-Beams, I think, as well, but I think he blew Meta. I'm not completely sure, but a reset for us, in my opinion, is more favorable than a reset for them. So, because Fel Lord's only a minute and a half cooldown, it's not like some huge, big deal that we used it. So, back on this Monk. This is a tough team for us because Demo Locks do not have much mobility, and this team played very, very spread out, which is not very good for me either because I'm trying to bleed everything, and I have a lot of downtime this game, and that's kind of the story of this game. We get the Demon Hunter pretty low a few times, but we're definitely not doing very much damage compared to what we would typically do against most teams because they're so spread out. Mistweavers really give us a lot of problems, and this Mistweaver we're facing is a Gladiator, and he knows what he's doing. This Mistweaver did a very good job of keeping his team up and being in spots that, like, look at that. It's so annoying for me to hit anything this game. And look at the Feral Druids way over there. What we probably should have done is we should have all just played a little bit more clumped up than we were. They get me pretty low here. I wall, and they've got some pretty good pressure here. There's the other Fel Lord. They're going to do the same thing. They see the Fel Lord. We're all stacked up on it. That's the way we like to go. If we're losing the pressure battle, we all just triple clump into the Fel Lord. They either have to stand in it or they have to get out. And they chose to get out, so we get another reset. So pretty good for us again. Unfortunately, that Demon Hunter had a very good glaive toss. I did not factor that in. I forgot that hits 3 people and it takes you out of stealth. So yeah, that was a good play by him. Open up on the Mistweaver here. This Mistweavers are just so elusive. They've got crazy mobility with port, and then they can port to teammates. Then they've got double roll. It's nuts. It's really hard to stay on a Mistweaver. So there's Bop on our Pally here, and in my Pally's defense this game, he was only honor level, I think, like 12, so he didn't have some of the talents that would have helped him survive against some of this stuff here. But we actually get this Demon Hunter pretty low. We almost get him. We almost get him. So close. But he gets cocooned, and that's pretty much the end of it for us, sadly. We don't really get anywhere else, and as you can see, spread out. So look at this. Look at how spread out everybody. The Feral Druid's way over there, Demon Hunter's over here, Mistweaver's way over there, and my poor demo lock has no mobility, so he's having a hard time hitting stuff, and I am having a lot of downtime, and I'm not able to keep my Moonfires up as much as I'd like to because everybody's just so spread out. And our Pally goes down despite the Fell Lord. So these guys, very good. Next game we get them, we'll probably try and stack up a little bit more. But these are obviously pretty good players, so I don't mind losing to them. Also, I think they kind of outcomp us a little bit. At least, well, demo locks are apparently getting buffed according to Blizzard. So we'll see how that one plays out in the future. This last game is pretty PvE-tastic. It's as close to a mirror as we normally get. Nobody plays Feral Demo, so you do face some Feral Afflictions, some FLS. But anyway, we're going to start off on this Priest here. And this game is going to show you the power of Moonfire. In my last video, there were some people talking shit about Moonfire on the forums saying, oh, you know, the ramp-up time, it's not that good in PvP, blah, 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 blah. They just weren't feeling the Moonfire. And this game is going to show you why Moonfire is badass for PvP. Take a look at Scotto over there on the left side of the screen. What's my top damage? Moonfire. And I've got pretty good uptime this game. And I'm also doing a very good job of keeping Rake and Rip up as well. And once you see the damage at the end of the game, I might make a believer out of you if you weren't believing in the Moonfire Alloon dream. So here we go. We're on this Feral, trying to keep bleeds up on everybody, trying to prioritize the healer as much as possible. Anytime we're in a situation like this where we've got the upper hand when it comes to pressure, I try and prioritize healers with my little rip. Obviously, I'm going around and ripping everybody, but I try to prioritize healers more because it freaks them out because they have to worry about fake casting and Mighty Bash. And, oh my god, they're on me, and my Feral Druid is low at the same time. A lot of healers just freak out, yet the high-level healers don't as much, which is why that Gladiator Mistweaver was tougher for us. But a lot of people do, so here's an example of it. So I'm going to jump to this Priest, boom, interrupt him, and then bleed him up. And think about it from his point of view. He just got interrupted. He's got a Feral Druid on him, and his Feral Druid is almost dead, and his Warlock is almost dead, and he is almost dead. So that's like, it's a lot to take in, and I've played a healer before, and healing situations like this fucking sucks. So that's why I try and prioritize the healer more than the Warlock. But I do get on the Warlock here in a second. Priest is fully dotted. I'm on him a little too long there. Go back to the Feral Druid, get close to I actually make a mistake here. I get the rip up on him, so I get the rip. There's the rip, and I need to reapply Rake. I missed the Rake there, but I go on this Warlock here. He blows that shield thing. I just get the rip up on him, move on. Go back to the Priest, start building my rip up on him. And one thing I do that's bad about so I had my Skull Bash up there, or no, I didn't. But one thing that I did this game that was probably a mistake was I held on to Tiger's Fury and Skull Bash for a really long time. If you go back and look, I rarely use those two abilities this game because I kept getting very good Moment of Clarity procs at low energy, so my energy was always good. So my Tiger's Fury, I really never had to use it for energy, and I never used Skull Bash because my Tiger's Fury was always up. So that's something I'm pretty bad about. I really try and not interrupt unless Skull Bash is, or unless Tiger's Fury is on cooldown. And I think I wasted a lot. I think I'm wasting a lot of potential there because I'm really just trying to maximize the damage I do. But anyway, that's something I need to work on. They go down. Now look at this damage. I did 3 times the Feral's damage. And look at the Scada. Look, what's number 1? Moonfire. Believe in the Moonfire dream, boys. It's fucking good. It's good, I swear. I swear it's good. So, maybe I'm weird, but dude, the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.